Hello, my name is Paresh, and today we will be talking about the immune system. The immune system is like our military. It has many different branches and also has multiple defense systems. So today we will be learning about these defense systems and the branches. Bacteria and viruses are all around us. Most are harmless, but some can make us sick, which are called pathogens. A pathogen is an organism, a virus, or a protein that causes disease. Our body has many ways to protect us from pathogens. These include the external defenses, which are our skin and mucous membranes, and the internal defenses, which are fever and/or inflammation. The immune system is made up of tissues and specialized white blood cells. It can recognize and attack foreign substances in the body. There's the innate immune response, which is non-specific, cannot distinguish from one pathogen to another, has a fast response within minutes, has no immunologic memory, and has external and internal defenses, examples of skin and lysosomes and tears. Then there's the adaptive immune response, which is specific for each pathogen, and it has antigens that distinguish between friendly and potentially deadly pathogens. Has immunologic memory and clonal expansion, so that the next time a virus comes around that corresponds with those types of antibodies, our body is ready to fight them back. But there's a downside to this, as it can take 2 to 3 weeks for this to be activated. Now there are 3 main cells that protect our body. The macrophage belongs to the innate immune response and is nicknamed destroyer. It's a white blood cells that destroys pathogen by digesting them. It helps start the body's immune response to viruses. Then there's the T cell, which is in the adaptive immune response. There are 2 types of T cells, helper T cells, which activate other T cells, and killer T cells, which kill infected body cells. Then the B cell, which is also in the adaptive immune response, has antibodies that it makes, which is a specialized protein that attaches to specific antigens to tag it for destruction and clump it together so that the macrophage can destroy it. This is how the immune response works. First, you have the macrophage, which eats the virus and shows off the antigen to helper T cells, while the virus sometimes still invades infected body cells. Then these helper T cells trigger a B cell response and a T cell response. The B cell response makes the B cell make antibodies, and then it becomes activated, which clumps up the virus by attaching to its antigens and connecting to each other, so the macrophage can destroy it. While the T cell response starts the killer T cells to eventually disable and kill the infected body cells. So let's talk about immunity. It's the ability to resist or recover from an infectious disease. Once the body has fought a pathogen, it produces memory cells, T and B cells that remember a specific pathogen. Memory cells are not activated until the pathogen enters the body. Once the pathogen enters, the body immediately starts making a large number of T cells and B cells that attack the pathogen. There's a way to trigger memory cells before actually being infected, which is called vaccination. So first, a weak or dead form of the germ is introduced and injected into your body. Then your immune response starts developing antibodies to remember the germ and effectively attack it the next time it comes around. And when it does, it's ready to fight it in a week's notice. Let's talk about the challenges to the immune system. First, there are allergies, which can be caused by certain foods, medicines, or certain types of pollen and mold. It's an immune system reaction to a harmless or common substance. Then, there's cancer, a group of diseases in which cells divide at an uncontrolled rate. Normally, your cells divide at a controlled rate given to it by the DNA in your nucleus. But sometimes the cells don't respond to these body's instructions, and it continues to divide at a rapid rate. The immune system may not be able to stop the cancer cells from growing. The immune system also sometimes fails to develop properly or becomes weakened, resulting in an immune deficiency disorder. Think HIV or AIDS. These specifically infect the helper T cells that when the time comes to fight a pathogen, neither T cells nor B cells can be activated because the helper T cells aren't there to activate them. Then there are diseases in which the immune system attacks the body's own cells, which is called an autoimmune disease. In these diseases, the immune system mistakes body cells for foreign antigens. For example, rheumatoid arthritis is when the immune system attacks the joints. So today, we learned about the immune system. We learned about the pathogens all around us and how external and internal defenses help us be protected from those pathogens. Then we learned about the innate immune response and the adaptive immune response, their differences, and how they work based on the pathogen risk. Then we learned about the three cells that protect our body, or the three main cells that protect our body, and how they work individually. Then we learned how the immune system responds to a pathogen by looking at a chart. We then learned about immunity and memory cells and vaccination. And finally, we learned about the challenges to our immune system. So I hope to see you next time, and until then, goodbye for now.